Hey, Lex.
Chloe, the girls are upset.
No,
The girls
hey,
are mad.
talk to the people.
The girls are not pleased. NCAA, look at the material. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my goodness, Chloe.
I thought, Lex, I thought it would be better than this. It's like, do you not know that the players have phones, receipts that they
Phones,
talk to each other?
cameras, TikTok, Twitter. But the craziest thing is, though, that it was the coach that did this,
Yep.
which I think that definitely made a difference because everyone would be like, oh, the players are just ungrateful. Blah, blah, blah. But this came from a coach. So I was appalled. But I will admit I did laugh a little bit when they showed like the dumbbells and then they showed just emptiness,
Yeah.
which is chairs. At least paint the walls. Do something. Give them a banner. Give some
Anything. Anything. And that's what I said. So I know you saw my post and even Togethxr's post. We post like beautiful yoga mats though, like, that were
First of all, I don't even
sanitized.
like yoga. And I know for a fact 85% of the girls don't like to even stretch. So don't even give us yoga mats.
Hey, it's you.
Dirty yoga mats that they brought in from Planet Fitness. I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah,
do
I
something.
mean, Lex, it's tough, right? And especially too, because in Sydney Paris, she was on here earlier. I don't know if you caught the live or not, but she was talking about how she was grateful. And I think us as like women's players, especially coming up when we're younger too, right? We kind of have that mindset instead of like expecting more. And for her, this is her first NCAA
Oh,
tournament
she's a
experience. Like,
freshman?
she's a freshman.
Yeah, like she don't know no better. She doesn't know any better because what people don't understand is the way they set up things for us in the tournament is so nice. Everything is nice and it's like it doesn't feel that much different from the men's tournament from things that we see from a distance or things that they post and show. So it's like I feel very bad for the freshmen definitely because like this is what they think it's like and it's not like that. So I will go to bat for the NCAA a little bit. Like they don't usually drop the ball like this. And I just expected more from them because they know that this is like the first big tournament during COVID, like the first bubbles, real big bubble situations the players have been in. And they knew all the eyes were gonna be on them. So I'm like, I thought they was gonna like go crazy big. And it's just like they bring up the revenue thing. And I'm like, that's not how college works, everybody. You can you could
And,
you can say that for us, the WNBA, okay, that revenue argument works, but in college it does not. That's not how it works. It's not how it works because I know for a fact there are a handful of men's teams in the tournament right now that probably lose money as well. And there's a lot of women's teams that make a lot of money. So it has nothing to do with that.
I
So I hate
mean,
people who keep saying that. It's like, it's tired. It's a stupid argument. Come with something better, please, everybody. Um, Men specifically. It's like I've been seeing the same thing over and over and over. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, let's do better. Do some
it's
research first.
their yeah, it's their favorite argument. And my thing is, like, and we've talked about it. If you use that argument, right, then a 16 seed right now in the men's bubble, right? Then a 16 seed should not have the same resources as a number 1 seed then, if
Exactly.
that's the
Like, it
argument you want
doesn't
to
make any
use.
sense. And I
And
saw yesterday there's a former player, a former men's player. I won't say his name because I have it right here, but I ain't gonna put him out like that. He came on one of our like things, the women's sports thing, come in talking about y'all don't make enough money, da 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 da. And he was like, I'm not on the side of the NCAA. I looked up this man's, so he has his basketball picture in his profile. So I was like, oh, let me go see what this man talk about. I went on his stats. I ain't gonna tell you what
not the stats, Lex.
I will tell. 1 point a game, okay? Career. 5 years, 1 point per game. And I really wanted to comment back, like, should part of your scholarship be taken away because of your lack of contribution to the team in games? Like, you have to frame it for people that way for them to really understand, because some people lack empathy these days. So you have to frame it in a way that they could relate to. But I didn't even put them on blast like that because it would have been a low blow, and I don't do that. So I kept that to myself. But that's
It's the
how I
growth
thought
for
about
me.
it. And I'm just like, it's just really disappointing. I'm really happy seeing all of the response to it, except for Nick Young's. But
He has a daughter.
a whole daughter. And I hope she plays basketball so he can explain that comment to her, because it's not going anywhere. So it's in the universe forever.
Yeah.
So I hope she picks up a ball and like, Dad, I want to play. And then what is he going to say? No, you're not important enough to play basketball. Your sport doesn't make enough money. Like, come on, bro.
The
Then you want to say
JV2.
he hacked.
Come on. Is that?
Come on, Nick Young.
Yeah.
What's the crazy thing though is he's still trolling with that. Like, if anybody knows Nick Young as a person, like that was him being a troll. Still, that means he really does not care.
Not the time.
It's been really nice seeing a lot of like the other college players, NBA players saying like this is not okay, because it wasn't okay. Like, how many dumbbells? 8 dumbbells? There was more yoga mats than dumbbells.
Okay. What are we gonna do with that though? And it's like we're posting and everyone's sending in videos of like girls lifting like crazy, right? Like, you know better. And my thing is, in your point, right? Let's take this a few years back, right? If we didn't have cell phones, any of that, right? It's like people in the NCAA set this whole thing up. And no one thought to say, or no one thought
what the hell is this? It went through multiple people. I mean, I feel that way about when companies tweet things, when brands tweet things. I'm just like, how many people did this go through for them to be like, yep, this is good enough for them? Like, it was embarrassing. All they were missing was, like Sydney Colson said, was a box of tampons on the top of the table.
that took me out. And it was like,
shout out to Sydney Colson. I hope you try to get her on here, because somebody needs to give her a sketch show or something. Because
no, for sure.
I mean, the fact that like we're just conditioned to just make light of things, try to make the best of things. Like, I think that's a beautiful thing about us as women. It like, I love that about us. But like, there's a point in time where you got to be like, nah, this is not right. We're not going to stand for this. I would have been like, I'm leaving. You know me, workout crazy person. You know how mad I would have been in there?
I already know.
They don't even have like running stuff. That's what that space is for them to run laps.
Not laps, sis. Come on.
I'm just like, this is so I'm very, very interested to see how they fix this, because they start playing in a few days. Are they gonna ship a whole gym and they're gonna overnight a gym?
Equipment, something. I don't know. We had, Simone Manuel and Natasha Cloud. I think even you all jumped in like, I will help, like, bring the equipment. Like, what do we need to do? Do y'all need help?
Do you need my Peloton bike, sis? I will bring it. It's
anything.
right there.
So I will say,
Peloton, like, I don't know how they're gonna. And then she's like, we dropped the ball. We didn't know there was space. I just talked about this on my podcast. Like, it's, with the apologies, it's like the lack of accountability. Like, just say, this is what happened. We didn't think it was important, and we should have.
No, for sure. I think
it's an excuse.
It is, and they're going crazy in the comments about the swag bags that I guess.
Wait, what did they give them? A puzzle?
The puzzle. So the women's puzzle was apparently 150 pieces,
and the
men's puzzle was 500 pieces. Like, they couldn't even get the same amount of pieces for the puzzle. Like,
that swag bag.
It's the silence
And
for
it's
me.
not even like, honestly, it's not even about that. But like once you get people going on stuff, like everything just seems so much bigger. Because honestly, Chloe, like we know our swag bags were legit, but like the men always had better swag bags, but ours were still really nice. But those,
That they were disrespectful. Like they
you with
were.
the scrunchie, sis, you wearing the NCAA tournament scrunchie.
What am I gonna do with one tampon?
What am I gonna
No,
do
come
with?
on.
First of all, I did want to say that the boys do not need 5 things of soap.
They don't shower.
They don't shower. And they use 3-in-1s. Shampoo,
Right.
conditioner, body wash. They only need 1 bottle. And they gave us 1. Come
And that was
on.
it. And that was
What
it.
else was
Oh,
in my
you're.
bag? Nothing.
It was. That's what I
Right?
said.
How did they get more toiletries than women? You know why? Because women's products are more expensive in the store.
Talk about
That's
it.
a whole nother issue. Being a
Exactly.
woman is hard.
It is. It is. I think tampons and pads should be free, but that's another conversation. But Lex,
Swag bag was A1. Stop it.
no, they're going crazy in the comments. But I do want to plug like a few things though, because I know like even for you as an athlete, right? Even when we talk about WNBA players and NBA players, right? We at least need the same resources. Like you want women to perform at this high level, right? And we're taking it back to the NCAA. Then they need to have the same resources in order to do so.
Exactly. And it's like people are like, well, it's just weights. Like it's not a big deal. It's the principle. That's what it is. It's about the girls feeling like they're appreciated and that they're proud of them. Like this season was so hard. My little sister was at William and Mary. So like small school, not as many resources for the women's basketball team. And she was like, I hate college. I hate this. And I'm like, no, like I promise college is so amazing. So like you gotta imagine the players not being able to go home. They're taking all their classes online, but not able to go home. They're stuck in their rooms. They have to get COVID tested every day, multiple times a day sometimes. They were watching their teammates catching COVID. Their family members might have been catching COVID. Their games getting canceled. Like they had to work so hard and go through a lot of stuff this season to get to this point. And then for them to arrive at this tournament that you dream about playing in, and that is what they present. It's like it's a slap in the face. Like I mean, even at Ben, he was talking about you went to Duke, but like even at Duke, the girls were miserable there. Like it's hard.
It's hard.
So it's like that's what bothered me the most. It's like you don't reward these women for doing the same exact thing that all those men were doing. They do the same thing. In college, there's really no difference. You don't get paid. There's no split rep. Like all that goes out the window when you're in college, you're an amateur. So for people being like, you don't make enough money, like that's a slap in the face because they work their asses off every day to deserve recognition and nice things.
Yes, even to get a fraction of the pie, they work just as hard, if not harder, than the men. And like you said, the NCAA tournament, like that's the pinnacle. That's
Like
what they
that's like
sacrifice.
everything. Exactly. These girls stayed in their rooms for a year because they wanted to make the tournament, and they get there and they're like, you know what? We don't really care that you guys are having a tournament, but here y'all go with your little dumbbells and your terrible food and your terrible gift bag and all of that. So it's like, and people are here saying like the Title IX is kicking y'all's ass for sure. Because I had to educate myself a little bit. So yeah, the NCAA legally is not binded to Title IX, but
Right.
they know the rules because they make all the other schools follow it. So
It's
even
all
worse. It's even worse. They're like, we don't have to follow the rules, so let's go around them because we know that legally we can do that. Like that makes me even more mad.
Yeah.
Than them just flat out being like, dang, we didn't know the rules. Like they know the rules like in and out.
Yeah.
Because we know compliance. We know how compliance works.
On it. with
They don't
everything.
play.
And I think that's the hardest thing, right, Lex, is like when you do things like this, right, it teaches young girls to just be like happy to be here, like be appreciative that we're giving you this, right? Like you shouldn't be expecting more. This is what we're giving you. Like you should be lucky. And that's kind of what we gotta like get out of young girls, because that sets a precedent. And it's showing them too that already at this young age they see how much men are more valued than women, and it shouldn't be that
And
way.
money is more valued than women. We are people. Like, money is an object. It's a thing. There's no way that you can tell me that we're mistreating you because money. Because I'm like, how much money do y'all have to be talking about money this much, first of all?
1000%.
First of all, like
1000%.
y'all talking about revenue and money and billions and millions. Have y'all even touched or seen that much money to be speaking on it so freaking much? Just be a good person.
Exactly. And the comments, I can't look at the comments during the live because they're talking about like Firefest, like all this stuff.
Jesus,
And
yes. I saw
like,
Gabby's tweet. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah. And it's hard because, right, like, you know, to what you said earlier, like it's not funny, but at the same time, like you have to laugh in a way. Like the situation is not funny at all, but for a lot of us, we just have to kind of make lighthearted of the situation, you know. But Lex, I know I'm dead. I know you have to jump soon though too, but kind of spinning off this, because this is perfect, like your energy, all of that, and I know like you're gonna be going into more of this because you're coming out with the podcast. So just talk about that. When's it coming out? What can the people expect? What's next?
So my podcast actually premiered this morning, and it was short. It's just the first one, but it will be live streamed on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, and you will be able to call in and talk. And yeah, we've changing it up. Got next up Winfrey, but
Hotline blinging.
But yeah, all the links are on my YouTube, on my Instagram page. You can find it. This week was pretty light. I literally filmed it Wednesday, and then yesterday was like crazy. So I got material already for next week. It's gonna be fun. Definitely gonna talk about this on there, but you know, if NCAA picks it up and gets it better, I'm obviously gonna give them their props for that. So yeah, that's the concept. It's sports, pop culture, fun things, politics sometimes, but you know, I'm tired of politics, so we're gonna try not to talk about politics. But you know, if something pop off, we're gonna have to get it. You know, we did it, Joe.
Let's talk about it. Yo, you are a fool, Lex. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. Make sure all of y'all follow Lexie Brown. Tune into the podcast. Y'all
go look at it right now, y'all. Support the kid. This is new. Right. We in new territory.
And we know how funny you are too. So I can't wait. I'm gonna check it out. I love you, girl. You're the best, for real. You always
I love you.
Thanks for coming on, babe. See you later. So that was Lexie Brown. Make sure you guys follow her and check her out. Check out her podcast. We're going to try to keep having more people come on throughout the day on this live just to give their takes on what's going on in the women's bubble. Please make sure you're sharing everything that the women and the girls are putting out there, because it's absolutely absurd. And I thank all of you for tuning in.